This ordinary passenger plane has suffered a malfunction. Will the pilots manage to pull off this emergency landing? Today we are exploring 5 levels where it's nearly impossible to save the aircraft. Our goal is to find out which plane is actually the most reliable and durable. Let's compare two giants and see who proves to be safer, Boeing or Airbus. Let's start with the Boeings. The first plane has already taken off. Now let's test a more powerful model. Let's see if this guy can handle it or if it falls apart just as fast. As you can see, it passed the test. Just a reminder, only the planes that remain intact after the impact will make it to our grand final. At the end of the video, we'll pit the winners head-to-head in emergency trials to find out which plane is truly the most reliable. And now, a real monster is heading to the runway. It's twice as heavy as all the others. Let's find out. Can a giant like this even take off?
Think rate. Think rate.
This giant didn't even have time to take off, but look at this. The fuselage is almost undamaged. That's an impressive result, so it's moving on to the next round. Now, let's check out this long Boeing. The landing gear failed to deploy, so it will have to land right on its belly at high speed. Will it manage to stay in one piece? You have 5 seconds to pick the right answer.
Too low. Gear.
That was expected. Without wheels, a plane this long had a very rough time. We're done with the Boeings. Only one of them managed to make it to the final. But now, the giants from Airbus are stepping up. At this level, an unexpected vehicle will appear that could decide the fate of this video. This is the smallest Airbus, but it costs a fortune. Now we'll see if its compact size helps it survive a hard landing in a thunderstorm.
Think rate. Think rate.
Next up is a model worth $110 million. It's a true gold standard of aviation. Can this beauty remain intact in our simulation? And this plane costs $130 million. Now it faces the same test as the Boeing that fell apart without its landing gear. If this Airbus handles the impact better, it moves on to the grand final. It turns out the Airbus was slightly tougher, so it takes its spot in the final. And here is our secret guest. This tiny little car costs next to nothing. I wonder if it can land on this small ship. If it succeeds, it'll also move forward. As expected, it didn't make it. By the way, you can test the durability of aviation yourself in War Thunder. This is a massive action game with realistic damage physics, 3 days of premium account, and a vehicle of your choice. You can get started using the link below. And now for the most expensive and high-tech giant on the list. This thing is a real monster. If even this one can't handle the load, then the other planes in this video simply stand no chance. You can see the result for yourself, but from here it gets even more interesting. In the third level, the Boeings return, and now they are even more expensive. But most importantly, this round features a battle of FedEx versus DHL. But first we start with an updated Boeing. The plane is already on its approach, but suddenly, an engine has caught fire. Let's see if it manages to land. It didn't survive after all, but that was a very close call. And now, a battle between the two most famous postal services in the world. Both planes have suffered a total control failure in a horrific storm. Which one will be able to land and move on to the final? We're starting with DHL. It did okay, but the damage is serious. Now it's FedEx's turn. Let's see if it'll be more durable. FedEx turned out to be much tougher. It has almost no damage. That's our 4th finalist. Before you is our most expensive contestant. It costs $250 million. We're in the middle of the ocean. At this speed, water turns into concrete. Will this giant manage not to shatter upon impact? And here is our business jet. It's small, but it costs more than the first Boeings in this video. Right now, it's trying to land, but a massive plane is blocking its path. Will it manage to brake in time? Those who survived already have one foot in the grand final, but the final fourth level is still ahead. The most modern Airbuses are waiting for us there. Will any of these giants make it to our grand final? Let's start with the cheapest one in this level. It's flying right over sharp rocks, and both of its engines just cut out. Let's see if it can land smoothly or if the rocks won't show any mercy. Up next is the second plane. One of its 4 engines has caught fire. Can the pilot steer and make it to the runway before the fire spreads to the wing? This beauty costs $260 million. Right in midair, its wing got ripped off. The pilot has only a couple of seconds to decide whether to risk a water landing or not. And here is the most expensive contestant. This giant, weighing hundreds of tons, is flying into a terrible storm. Do you think it can level out in a situation like this? Even for that kind of money, a plane can't always handle the elements. Some of them are gone for good, while others did the impossible and made it to the final. Here are 6 planes that survived absolute chaos. Right now, they'll face off in one-on-one duels, so we can finally settle it. Which one is the safest in all this madness? We're starting with a battle of the Titans, old school versus modern European comfort. Whose fuselage will survive this massive impact? If you play is in the description. The Boeing took a lot of damage, but the second plane is pretty beat up too. Now for the Airbus, let's see what it can do. Based on its durability score, this plane loses, which means the Boeing moves on to the super final. This next simulation is for the middle-class favorites. Both planes had their engines catch fire right in midair. Now let's see which one can land and stay in one piece. This plane took too much damage, so it has no chance. Now, let's give the second one a shot. It failed the test too, so they are both eliminated. And here's the moment of truth. One of the high-speed planes versus a classic Boeing. If one of them lands at high speed and stays intact, it wins. Boeing is up first. Now for the Cessna. The speed is insane. Could this little guy really take the crown from the giant? That was epic. We've crashed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of planes. If you want to see more, check out this video.